Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another discussion about the 2020 presidential election. And once again, we are talking about Minnesota. And the question is, can Donald Trump actually win Minnesota? Well, let's take a peek. And I'm going to look at the results from 2000, and one of the things I want to do is I want to see if the Republican vote share has increased in addition to the fact that the state as a whole, when I say has been trending to the right, its closeness and whether it votes more Republican or Democratic than the nation as a whole has been trending towards the Republicans, okay? And there's a lot of reasons for this, but mathematically this has actually been backed up, and 538 even confirms it, okay? So I don't want to hear any of this, what by what measure? No. Even actual statisticians agree with my take on that. Now, this is the 2000 election where W lost the state. He did win the election overall, and he got 1.1 million, which was about 50,000 behind Al Gore. And turnout went significantly up in 2004. Went up almost 10%. And Bush actually performed much better in terms of vote percent in 2004 than he did in 2000. However, it's kind of interesting to look at this. Bush did a lot better in the western suburbs of Minneapolis, St. Paul, but he also started to improve in some rural areas, though he did lose a little bit in others. And the Iron Range was, well, still a Democratic stronghold. And his vote share, in addition to the fact that he gained a few percentage points over his 2000 performance. That said, John Kerry did beat Al Gore's vote total and percentage margin. Bush went up to 1.34, and as you can see, that has not changed all that much. John McCain got 1.275, and, well, Barack Obama got significantly more, and even dominated in some of the very rural areas. Then we go to 2012, and by the way, after 2004, turnout is going to fall significantly. And Obama actually lost a small amount of votes, but not a significant margin from 2008 to 2012. Mitt Romney did beat John McCain by about 50,000 votes, and that still doesn't match the 1.34 million that W got, but 1.32 was an improvement over his performance in was an improvement over McCain's performance. Trump did put an extra 2,000 onto Romney's 2012 total. However, in both cases, his vote total still would have failed to Barack Obama's vote total. However, Clinton dramatically underperformed what would have been expected for a Democratic candidate, only getting 46% of the vote, but also only getting 1.36 million, which is fewer than John Kerry and the fewest since Al Gore in the state. Now, things are going to be different in 2020, more than likely. But the polling has indicated a tightening race, especially since the end of the summer. And I'm trying to see Here's an internal poll from, and I know normally I shouldn't be using internal polls, but it is kind of actually a semi-decent measure as long as we look at whether they're consistent with each other. This one is from May at the height of the pandemic. 42% Trump, 50% Joe Biden, and here is the same pollster for the same campaign, Harper Polling, for Jason Lewis. We see 45-48. It's 2 from Biden, 3 to Trump. That's a net of a 5% swing in favor of the Donald. If we look at Democracy, if we look at Democracy Institute, from their late July to late August, what we see is a 2% swing in favor of the Donald. That said, Democracy Institute is currently the only one that has shown Donald Trump winning the state, so slight outlier there. Let's look at Morning Consult from May to, I believe they actually have, here's another one, to August, and then to another week in August. So let's go ahead and check that one out. 42-49, and then 42-50, so 1% in favor of Biden, and 1% in favor of Trump. So Morning Consult so far is the outlier, not showing any movement towards Trump, right? Okay, let's see. Let's find another one that has multiples. Trafalgar, this is a good one. 44-49, and then 47-47. That is a 5% swing in favor of Donald Trump. So, yes, the race is tightening. The polling averages do indicate a tightening race. So, it's not I wouldn't be surprised to see more polls showing a competitive election in the land of 1,000 lakes. And you can do this, by the way, for every state to see whether or not the race is tightening or not. Find a few polls and then look at what the trend is in that state's polling, and nationally as well. And let's do this in my model, and let's go ahead and look at approval rating. So in 2018, that's our baseline, right? 45.5 to 52 and change. Then Trump's approval fell. Then it went back up in the first quarter of this year. Then it fell in the second quarter. I wonder what happened in the second quarter. And then it fell even more in July. Now, this is shorter time frames than the previous ones, but it's important. And then August, what do you see? Other than the third week, you see Trump rising on average. And if you look at this week, it's another 0.2 in favor of Donald Trump. So, by that measure, people are coming around, or maybe it's just statistical noise. You don't actually know. And then looking at polls, actual election polls, by the way, this is kind of a control for me. If you look at that, it's 3 points, then 4, but notice both gained. Then Trump's fell, and this is where Biden really picked up his steam in the second quarter. And then you look at July. Then the first week of August, Trump got a 2-point swing in his favor, and then another 2-point swing in Biden's favor, and then a 1-point swing in Biden's favor. Then you got, no real net change. And then if you look at this week's, no real net change. It seems to be stabilizing at Biden at up about 7.5 plus change. So that's kind of what I look at when I look at polling, is I don't just look at the crosstabs. I like to look at polls that are taken by the same company or polling firm and compare them to older polls, are they consistent with each other? Is the methodology the same? What changed? Was it just a different sample? Or was it statistical noise? For example, all but one pollster, when we looked at Minnesota, for example, showed a tightening race. So what can we guess? Well, we can guess that it's likely the race is tightening and not just getting a funky GOP favorable sample in August. As compared to the earlier polls. And we can conclude that in general, as things look to be getting better, both economically with the pandemic, it seems that Donald Trump's polling numbers are coming back. Whether or not that's enough at this stage in the race, well, that's up to you, the viewer, to decide. Anyway, I forgot to do this on Wednesday, but likes, comments, subscriptions do help. I do have a Twitter account. I do also have a Patreon in the description. I'd love to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the month, and I'm not that far away from it. I'm going to be looking to figure out how to get some other people on the channel every now and then, and I'm going to be live streaming, of course, Saturdays kind of late at night because I'm a night owl, and of course right now we're playing the political process, and well, I'm doing typical libertarian things, voting to end all taxes, getting rid of any funding for the Bureau of Alcohol, Firearms, and Tobacco. Speaking of which, the Bureau of Alcohol, Firearms, and Tobacco should be the name of a convenience store, not a government agency. Anyway, enough of that. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Take it easy. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.